Right, remember, let's make sure someone jumps on Zoom, on YouTube.
Good morning and happy Heart Month. My name is Kathleen Stanley, and I'm an Executive Managing Director at Webster Bank and the 2022 Long Island Go Red for Women campaign chair. I'd like to welcome you this morning to the Go Red for Women Day of Wellness. We are excited to bring you a day of engaging and informative content to help you reclaim your rhythm. We are rallying our communities to get us back on the beat and feeling the rhythm to empower our audiences to take action and to take control of their health by creating healthy habits. Thank you to our Life is Why sponsor, Mount Sinai, South Nassau, and to all our sponsors for supporting Go Red for Women. This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce our friends at Mount Sinai, South Nassau to kick us off with a discussion about the importance of movement with Dr. Stevens Haynes, Director of Non-Invasive Cardiac Imaging, Clinical Cardiology. Joselle Diaz, Heart Failure Nurse Practitioner at Mount Sinai, South Nassau, will also be leading us through a quick exercise, and at the end of the session, there will be time for questions. Thank you so much for joining us virtually today. Please save the date and join us in person for the Go Red for Women luncheon at the Crest Hollow Country Club on Wednesday, May 4th.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. It's now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Stevens Haynes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Pilar Stevens Haynes, the Director of Echocardiography and Clinical Imaging at Mount Sinai, South Nassau. I just wanted to very briefly talk to you guys about some of the recommendations that AHA has made in terms of exercising. It's so important in 2022 to know your numbers, know your blood pressure, your cholesterol, even Gabriella agrees, diabetes screening, etc. But more importantly is to know that you can actually modify some of those risk factors by a little bit of movement. It's very overwhelming, especially the older we get, the busier we get, to think about, I don't have an hour or an hour and a half to go to the gym. And so when I was looking at this recommendation, especially now with her, I was trying to figure out what the minimum requirements were for me to get in my movement and get in my exercise. And what's interesting about this recommendation, even though it's 150 minutes per week of moderate exercise or 75 of vigorous exercise, you can actually break it up. So it doesn't have to be continuous exercise. If it's a minimum of 10 to 15-minute intervals, and if you can do that 2 to 3 times a day, you more than meet the requirement. You blow the requirement away. I'm not a girl who likes to get all hot and sweaty. I'm not someone who has time to go to the gym and lift weights. So I was just saying earlier on the call that I like to dance. And so I found these cool short dance videos that are about 10 to 15 minutes that I can actually do in my office. So as Giselle will come on the call a little bit later, when I shut my office door, I might be dancing back there. And if I can just do 10 minutes of continuous activity 2 to 3 times a day for 4 to 5 days a week, you meet that requirement. And so I think that's really important to note, is that it doesn't have to be this intense, drenched in sweat workout, gym, heavy weightlifting, outside running. The weather's not that great right now. It's simple walking or just anything to keep your body in motion. And so you find something that you like. Right now, for me, it's salsa. And that's what I'm doing. And it works out great. And so if we can spend a little bit less time sitting, actually have a reminder on my phone that dings every hour to say, hey, Pilar, you've been sitting down for an hour straight. Maybe you want to get up and do something. And if I can just do something quick, jumping jacks, running in place, a quick dance, I'm happy. And my rings are closed on my watch because I'm very competitive. So I have to close all of my rings. So with that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Giselle, and she'll show you a couple of things that we can do to keep moving.
Thank you all. Thank you for having me today. My name is Joselle. I'm the heart failure nurse practitioner from Mount Sinai, South Nassau. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today to show you some of the fitness move that I do, some physical activity that I do every day that I try to incorporate to my daily activity. As Dr. Stevens Haynes told us earlier, it doesn't have to be intense activity, and we can definitely break that 150 minutes of activity throughout the week. So definitely try to incorporate this movement during your week. So I like to call this moves my fabulous 10. So it's going to be 10 moves in 10 minutes. But before we start, I just want to share you some personal tips that I incorporate to my activity. So number one, always make time. As you can see, I'm in my living room right now. You don't have to go to the gym if that's something that you personally do not like to do, as far as, with the pandemic and not feeling comfortable to be around people. Number two, always work out in the morning. I've tried working out in the morning and also tried working out during the afternoon. And I personally find that I have more energy during the morning. Also, it gives me better focus throughout my day and also helps me make better decisions as far as my food goes. Number three, find a music that you enjoy. As Dr. Stephen Haynes said, if you like to dance, this would be very great for you. Studies have shown that when you work out at a music that you enjoy, you work out longer and you work out with higher intensity. And number four, bring your positive energy. So we're ready to get started. As you can see, I have my weights over here. I have 3 pounds over here. But for those that doesn't have any weights at home, just know that each bottle is about 1 pound each, and definitely you can use that. So my fabulous 10 moves will incorporate cardio, strength training, and core exercises. I also like to have my fitness watch so I can see and track how my calories are doing and how my heart rate is doing. So now we're ready to get started. So let's first start with some stretching because we want to get the blood going. We can do a side to side We can do that for 20 seconds. And now we're going to be doing front just to get the blood going. There we go. You can follow along, write this down, save it for later. Excellent, excellent. So now we're ready to get started with cardio. Cardio activities are very important because it makes your heart pump more effectively and it makes your activity more efficient. So you don't need any bike, you don't need any treadmill, you don't need any Stairmaster. You just need your body. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 minutes of cardio. We're gonna break it down to 4 moves, 30 seconds each. So let's start with our toe reach. Again, I'm gonna be modifying each activity for low impact or higher intensity. So let's start with a toe reach. 2, 3, 4, 5. For somebody with limited activity, you can just go a little lower, but just keep it moving. There you go. Whew, I can feel my heart racing already. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to be moving to our second cardio move, which is our jogging or walking. For higher intensity, we can go higher. And for lower intensity, we can just speed walk. There you go, breathing heavily. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. So now we're going to be moving to our third cardio movement, which is our jumping jack. For higher intensity and for lower intensity. There you go. If you don't like jumping but want a higher intensity, you can go faster. There you go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that's our third cardio movement. And now we're going to go to our fourth cardio movement, which is our jumping rope. For higher intensity, we can go up. For lower intensity, we can just jump from toe to toe. Very good, halfway there. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Look at that. We just did 2 minutes of cardio. Can you guys believe that? That would feel a lot longer if you would have just stayed in one place and did a treadmill. So that's the way I spice up my cardio. I try to break it down to 4 different movements, get my heart racing, make it more fun. So now we're going to try to catch our breath. So we need to drink some water. Good, good, good. So now we're going to move to our next group, which is our strength training. The importance of strength training is that it helps us build some muscle. Muscle is good because it helps us give strength. It's good for our bones and definitely makes our arteries and vessels stronger. So I'm going to show you some moves that I personally like to incorporate to my strength training. I like to do what we call the compound exercises. Compound exercises are basically when we work out different muscle groups at one time. It's very good, especially if you're short of time. So I'm going to show you some moves. So my first move is my biceps lunges. We're going to pick up a weight that we're comfortable with, and we're going to move our biceps together with some lunges. There you go. There you go. For lower impact, you don't have to go that far. So we're working out our biceps, we're working out our balance. There you go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we're going to go to our second movement, shoulders side to side. Again, pick up your muscle, you pick up your weights. I'm going to go from side to side. For higher intensity, you could go lower. Four, 3, 2, 1. And now the third strength training move, this is actually my personal favorite. This is the shadow boxing. Again, you're gonna pick up your 3 pounds. This might be a little challenging, so you can either drop your weights. I will drop my weights. And then you start. 1. For more challenging, you can go higher. For less challenging, you can go lower. For more challenge, pick up the weights. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Look at that. And now we're going to be going to our last strength training move, our front raise. So again, we're going to pick up our weights. And now we're going to raise from one arm to the other. 2. For our new moms, you can use your babies. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. And for our 9th and 10th move, we're going to be doing some core exercises. So our first one is from side to side, which you can do standing or laying down. So we do that for 30 seconds. And our last move is a standing curl. You can pick up the pace. Three, 2, and 1. So those are my 10 moves. I know we just did it for 5 minutes, but that would be your 1 set. And then if you do another set of it, that would be your 10 minutes. For those who are looking for more challenge, you can do it for your 3rd set or for your 4th set. And also, you can always pick up the pace by taking or using a heavier dumbbells or picking up the speed. But always remember, we can always modify these activities to a low impact or high impact. But whatever you choose to do, always make sure to let your cardiologist, your doctor know about starting this workout regimen. We always want to end with a good relaxation and some stretching. Breathe in, breathe out. In and out. And always remember that you will get the most benefits from this activity by incorporating healthy lifestyle, such as a good diet. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it, guys.
Thank you so much, Joselle. Thank you, Dr. Stevens-Haynes. I want to know if we can get Dr. Stevens-Haynes back on for a minute. We have been receiving some questions. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. So I think you know me, I'm Diego Ortiz from the American Heart Association. We want to give thank you to you and thank you to Mount Sinai South Nassau for sponsoring today's early morning workout. This is so exciting and it's such a fun way to spend a Wednesday. I was breaking a sweat with you, Joselle.
Oh, me too.
So that was a lot of fun. So we did receive a few questions, so maybe you can help us answer them. The first one is about that 150-minute number. So if you can't reach 150 minutes a week of exercise, should we not even bother?
Oh, absolutely not. That's the goal, to kind of maintain. It was 150 versus half of that if you do a more intense workout, but any movement is good. I just had a baby, and I certainly wasn't doing 150 minutes a week, and maybe not even half of that. I started out by doing 5-minute walks. Actually, I couldn't even do 10 minutes. I had this weird autonomic dysfunction, which your heart rate just beats very, very fast for no reason with minimal activity. And so I had to really work on retraining my heart, which is why I got so interested in what the actual requirements were. So after I did my echo and I realized that nothing was physically wrong with my heart, I was just really, really deconditioned. I looked at some of the ways that I could retrain my heart. And so a lot of the recommendations have to do with interval training. And so I started off with 5 minutes walking around my block, a minute or two, increasing the pace for 10 seconds, 15, 20, 30 seconds, whatever you can do, and then slowly increasing that interval for 5 minutes at a time. And so your goal should be to get up to 150 minutes eventually, but we don't all start there. I certainly didn't.
That's so helpful. And let me ask both you, Doctor, and you, Joselle, is there a difference in the recommendation for men or women? Or is it the same recommendation? And does it matter if we're doing moderate intensity or a little bit more difficult intensity?
There's really no difference between the recommendation for men and women. And in terms of intensity, it really has to do, remember, this is for cardiac training. So may not get you a 6-pack. It may not change your body shape the way you'd want it to, but this is to get your heart in good shape. And so to get your heart in shape, that's the recommendation. And it's across the board. And like I said, usually interval training, some weight training as well, but nothing too intense. When you're really trying to change your body shape or your body type, and you want that 6-pack, then that has to do with the intensity of your workout.
Okay, noted. I like it. And I think right now, the moment we're in is we're trying to get back into that social life. We motivate our family and our friends to journey to better health.
So I started doing challenges because I was home on maternity leave, and my daughter, she's only 8 weeks old, so I couldn't really go out with her too much. So I started doing challenges. A lot of us have smartwatches, smartphones, apps, and we started like logging our minutes together. So who could do a longer workout? My sister cheats, I'll tell you that, because she works in the city and she walks all the time. So I have a hard time catching up with her. Zoom is pretty cool as well. But a lot of the apps now have these things where you can kind of challenge each other. So I'm in a challenge with one of the physicians at Mount Sinai, South Nassau, one of the hospitalists, and he closes his rings all the time. It's insanely crazy. You know who I'm talking about, so he's always finished way before me. And I just started closing my rings. So here's an example. My daughter's 9 weeks old. I just started closing my rings this week in terms of getting that 30 minutes of exercise. So it goes back to what we talked about earlier with not being able to get the full 150 minutes in. This was the first week I was actually able to close some of those rings, but challenges help me. I'm very type A, I'm competitive, and I love to see achievements. So if you give me a prize, even if it's a sticker on a phone, I'm happy. So that's how I kind of engage people. As the weather gets nicer, walks, hiking. We live in Long Island. There are beautiful trails all over. We're outside. So I think that's a plus. I'm actually very much looking forward to that as the weather gets nicer.
So how about you? Any advice on getting our friends and family to join us?
So we like to do like some contests. Like right now I have some friends that we're doing a contest, and our goal is for the summer. So it's always good because it definitely gives that accountability. And again, if you're somebody like Dr. Stephen Haynes, that's very competitive, that's definitely going to keep you motivated.
Well, I love it. I love it. Well, in the interest of time, I have just one more question. And I think this one's important because mental health is such an important topic right now, just across the board, the connection between mental health, our physical health, our heart health. So I'll give you both an opportunity to answer. So really, there's really more of a statement. And when I don't work out or sit in front of the TV or the computer screen for too long, I feel down. Am I alone? Or does exercise actually make you feel better?
It actually makes you feel better. That's well studied. They first studies came out with long distance runners, and they have these endorphins that kick in at about 10 to 15 miles. I've never run more than a mile in my life, so I can't attest to that. But apparently, it's a real thing. But it does help you. You feel better about yourself, just to get moving a little bit. And so I love the activities that Giselle did, because as you're sitting at home in the snowstorm, things are going on, I can get up and do 5 minutes of exercise, very much doing what you did without the weights, to kind of get moving a little bit. But it does release hormones and endorphins that kind of kick in that do help you elevate your mood. So it's a very real thing, and it's been very well documented.
And I also want to add too, like, since being a heart failure nurse practitioner, I deal with a lot of patients that, they have very limited activity because of the change that their heart is undergoing. So I really try to help them to incorporate different movements so that they can be physically active, because, as we know, depression is very prevalent for those population. So we always want to make sure that we're really targeting that mental health by, physical activity.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us this morning. You've been, just phenomenal guests and troopers for getting up with us to do this, especially you, Giselle, breaking a sweat, and of course, Dr. Stevens-Haynes with a 9-week-old baby, and still able to join us. So thank you both. I also want to thank our sponsor, Mount Sinai South Nassau. And I want to ask Brittany if she could put up the slide, and I want to encourage everyone watching to take a moment, pick up your phone, scan that QR code, save the date. Wednesday, May 4th at the Crest Hollow Country Club, we'll be celebrating the 2022 Long Island Go Red for Women Luncheon. So please join us. I'll give you another moment to scan that QR code to learn more about this great event. And also, one more thing, join us today at noon and today at 3:30 as we continue our day of wellness. We're going to be talking about nutrition. We're going to be talking about finance and mental health, really important topics to help keep us well-rounded and healthy in our minds, our body, and of course, health as well. So thank you all and have a great rest of the day. Take care.